Hey boys and girls, I have another Robert Munsch story for you today. So this one is called The Sand Castle Contest. It's written by Robert Munsch and then illustrated by Michael Marchenko. Boys and girls, I just love Robert Munsch's stories because they always have something wacky in them. So as I read, I want you to think to yourself, what part could not happen? Let's get started. The Sand Castle Contest. Matthew's father stood in the driveway and said, I think we're all ready to go. Let's make sure everything is here. Do we have bicycles? Yes. Do we have the food? Yes. Do we have the boat? Yes. Do we have everything? No, yelled Matthew. No, said his dad. No, said Matthew. We don't have a dog. Dog, said his dad. We don't even own a dog. I know, said Matthew. Now would be a good time to get a dog. No dog, said his dad. Now do we have everything? No, yelled Matthew. We don't have my sandbox. Matthew, said his mom, we can't bring the sandbox. But the first place we camp will have a nice beach, and you will have lots of sand to play with. Well, said Matthew. Okay. So they drove and drove and drove and drove and drove and drove until they came to a place to camp. Matthew jumped out of the van and ran to the beach. He came to a girl making a small sand castle and a big sand dog. She said, Hi, my name's Kalita and I'm going to win the sand castle contest. Wow, said Matthew. I'm going to build a sand castle too. What can I win? You can win a bathtub full of ice cream, said Kalita. All right, said Matthew. So Matthew made a house with doors and windows and a roof. He dug out the inside of the house so it had rooms just like a real house. He made sand tables and chairs and beds and a TV that had a sand show on it. When Matthew was almost done, Kalita came over to look at his house. She had her sand dog on a leash. Nice sand house, said Kalita. Really, really nice sand dog, said Matthew. A judge came by and said, Get this house out of here. Who put this house on the beach? It's my sand house, said Matthew. I made it for the sand contest. Ha, said the judge. I know a real house when I see one, and there are no real houses allowed on the beach. Then he went inside and sat in the sand chair and watched a sand show on TV. Another judge came by and said, Get this house out of here. Who put this house on the beach? This is my sand house, said Matthew. I made it for the sand contest. Ha, said the judge. I know a real house when I see one. And there are no real houses allowed on the beach. She went into the bedroom and looked at the sand bed. She went into the kitchen, opened the refrigerator, and looked at the sand apples and the sand celery and the sand cartons of milk. Then she said, Little boy, you've got to get this house off the beach. This is my sand house, said Matthew, and I'm going to prove it. Ha! Said the judges. So Matthew went outside and kicked the sand house right beside the door. It all turned back into an enormous pile of sand and fell on the judges. Help! Yelled the judges, and everyone came running and dug them out. When the judges were finally out from under the sand, they yelled, Matthew wins! His sand house was so good we thought it was a real house. Matthew wins! Everyone yelled, and they gave him a bathtub full of ice cream. Matthew started eating the ice cream, and he said to Kalita, Want to help me eat this? Yes, said Kalita. While they were eating the ice cream, Matthew said, How come you didn't tell everybody that your dog is sand? I bet you would have won with a sand dog. Well, said Kalita, This is Sandy, my sand dog, and I'm going to take him camping and feed him ice cream every day, and he's going to be my pet, and I am never going to turn him back to sand." "Wow," said Matthew. "I wish I had thought of that. Can you show me how to make one?" "No problem," said Kalita. And Matthew's mom and dad were so happy with Matthew's amazing sand dog that they decided to take it camping. The end. Oh, boys and girls, I want you to think in your head, what was something crazy that was in that story that couldn't really happen? I hope you enjoyed the sandcastle contest. Have a great day.